Hi, my name is Deputy Mike Roy from the Windham County Sheriff's Office.
My name is Sergeant Michael Cable from the Brattleboro Police Department. The purpose of this presentation is to discuss the 4 basic firearm safety rules. Firearms exist throughout our communities, yet many people don't know how to safely handle and store them. If you follow these basic rules, you'll be able to reduce risks and anxiety whenever you might encounter firearms.
Rule number 1, treat every firearm as if it were loaded, until you know otherwise. This ensures that you always handle guns with care to avoid an accidental discharge.
How do you determine if a firearm is loaded or not?
Great question. Unfortunately, different guns have different operating systems, and it would be too difficult to try to explain all of them here. However, if you don't know how to open the chamber of a firearm, we encourage you to find somebody who is familiar with that firearm and can perform both a visual and manual inspection of the chamber to ensure that it's not loaded.
Here's an example of a semi-automatic pistol. To check if this weapon is safe, release the magazine and bring the slide back to the rear. Both visually and physically check the chamber and the magazine well. Use a finger to check inside.
Here's an example of a pump-action shotgun. To inspect the weapon to make sure that it is empty, open up the chamber, once again doing a visual and physical inspection to make sure that there's no ammunition in the open chamber area.
Here's an example of a revolver. To make this weapon safe, you'll locate a lever on the side and rotate the cylinder outwards. Again, visually and physically check the chamber of the revolver.
Here's an example of a bolt-action rifle. To check the chamber area to ensure that it is safe, you would pull up with the bolt, back, opening up the chamber, once again doing a visual and physical inspection to ensure there is no ammunition.
Here's an example of the safety lock for a firearm. First, make sure the weapon is open. Run the cable of the lock through the open chamber and lock it in place. The weapon now cannot function.
Rule number 2, always point a firearm in a safe direction. Controlling the direction a firearm is pointed ensures that no one is placed in danger.
What are some preferred directions that a firearm can be safely pointed?
Pointing a gun towards the ground is usually the safest direction, and usually much safer than pointing it up in the air.
Rule number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Firearms are designed to discharge a bullet only when pressure is applied to the trigger. Fingers should never be placed on the trigger until you plan on firing the weapon.
Where is a safe location to keep your trigger finger?
Trigger fingers are typically rested along the side of the weapon, on the frame of the weapon, and they remain there until the person is ready to shoot the weapon.
Rule number 4, be sure of your target and what's around it and beyond it. Unfortunately, every hunting season we hear of someone being shot accidentally because the shooter wasn't able to confirm what they were shooting at or didn't ensure a person or property wasn't going to be in the pathway of a bullet. Before firing a gun, the shooter is responsible to know what they are shooting at and ensure people and property aren't unnecessarily in harm's way.
Always remember that you should never store a loaded firearm. Stored firearms should be kept separate from the ammunition and should always be locked to ensure safety for all those who might come in contact with that weapon. Public libraries throughout the state of Vermont will be offering complimentary firearms locks available to owners who are interested in additional safety.
If you have any additional firearms questions, you may contact me, Sergeant Michael Cable at the Brattleboro Police Department, or Deputy Roy at the Windham County Sheriff's Office.